The following is a presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties.
Hello. Welcome. It is Thursday, August 31st. We got one day till
kickoff, baby.
One day to kickoff. You better get it ready. You better strap up, get your shoelaces tight. We are going to go full throttle tomorrow at 7 o'clock kickoff. But welcome to the only show hosted by Spartan Dawgs. This is Sparta MSU. Jason is having a little bit of technical difficulty, so he will be coming in, and he's going to come in guns blazing and adding his flavor. Exactly. So I'm your co-host, Otis Wiley, and you have your boy, Jehuu Caulcrick. So it is a great day in East Lansing, and we have some good things in store for you. And one guest that we are excited to bring on to talk about some great MSU volleyball and Coach Leah Johnson. But if you're your first time joining us, please, you got to hit the like, you got to subscribe, you got to show us some love. We are only as best as our followers and our viewers. So please hit the like and the subscribe button. Thank you.
I love it, though. I love
you
it.
say what? You love it? All right.
I love it.
Cool.
I love it.
So we got to go.
We
got to get into it because we have a short time period. We want to make sure we get our guest back to the organized time to get back with her family. So we're going to touch with our Spartan Dawgs that were in the NFL competing during this preseason. We got some roster updates, some practice squad updates. You got your guy, Ben Van Sumeren from the Eagles, who really had an outstanding preseason, who also made practice squad with the Eagles. Also, JU, you got your boy Josh Butler from Michigan Panthers. When you gave the okay that he was going to get a shot.
Absolutely.
So talk about Josh Butler.
Yeah. Can we put that list back up real quick there? I know, like Ben Van Sumeren, Josh Butler, Wakan Williams, Matt Soko, Kevin Jarvis, all those guys, Josiah Scott, all those guys. The really big thing is this: with the way that the league is shaped this year, these guys are going to get an opportunity to be activated to the 53. It's not like how it was when you and I were playing.
The tunnel was definitely quickly closed.
Exactly.
It was like either it's CFL or it's back to your mama's house.
Yeah, you're like Coach D would say, you're either in or you're out.
Absolutely.
And with the practice squad, there was 8 guys when you and I played. Now there's 16 guys on the practice squad, and I think guys like Ben Van Sumeren and Josh Butler, I think those guys are going to get an opportunity to play. They're going to be elevated onto the active roster, especially with injuries and everything like that. So, shout out to those guys. Like, their dream continues. That's the biggest thing. Their dream of playing in the NFL continues.
Absolutely. So, turning to some philanthropic support and giving, you already know Coach Tom Izzo has always been about giving back and supporting those in need. As you saw, if you were following their social, you're following kind of the news, Michigan State basketball, men's basketball has opened up. This is kind of the first time. Usually it's private when you do a scrimmage, right? So the first time that we're going to be able to play against Tennessee in a scrimmage, that this is a fundraiser that is going to go to the Maui wildfire recovery efforts. So this is an opportunity to Spartans giving back. Talk about it, too. Tom has always been about giving. Like, he has a heart of giving. And so for him to align with another school that, of course, it's always been kind of closed doors. You want to make sure, like, hey, we want to make sure we're putting out a product. We got to get some kinks out. But now a scrimmage is being open to the public. Talk about, just this effort from Coach Izzo and the basketball staff.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Last year, that scrimmage was really closed. It was absolutely closed to the public. I think I talked to 2 people that were in that scrimmage when it was in Knoxville at Tennessee. But Coach Izzo is a guy that really gives back to the community from when they do their Izzo race and Lupe the race, for the spring game. I had an opportunity to interview Coach Izzo, and he said, "Hey, this is bigger than me. This race is bigger than me. All those things." And it's just the exact same thing that's going on now. The Spartan basketball fans have a unique opportunity to get a sneak peek behind the curtains to see what the 2023-24 squad's going to look like by coming in, and it's all for a good cause. We know that the Maui fires was, absolutely something that was devastating to, that community, and the little that we can do. And that's the beauty about being a Spartan is you're not just impacting, right here in East Lansing, but you're impacting across the country.
Absolutely. It's crazy because you think about when we did the Nassau Bahamas, like the Battle of Atlantis, and you had Tum
Right.
Aaron and went back to his community. It's always a great opportunity to show your support in a way that sport is the kind of the pathway to driving, everybody and congregating, bringing people together. We have a busy weekend, too. You've been calling me, texting me, like I have been nonstop working to prepare for kickoff, but it's prepare for the entire athletic season because we have a lot of our sports that are already cracking and getting ready for season, but in season, women's soccer, men's soccer. And so let's talk about men's soccer. Soccer defeated Bowling Green 3-0 Monday. It was a great opportunity. That's a shutout. So if you're ever in the local community and you see highlights here, it was a great win. Coach Damon, I'm very good, close friends with Coach Damon from my Spartan Fun days. And to put that product out on the field and compete and go 3-0, that's a good showing for our men's soccer team.
You know what? It absolutely is. And I know you and Stray always give me crap about the fact that I always have some type of throwback to it. But being a kid from Africa, I played soccer growing up.
Absolutely.
And
you and me both. I'm not from Africa. All right, but I played soccer growing up for sure. Yeah.
But the only reason I played football is because I went to a small high school and we didn't have a soccer team. I played summer league soccer all the way through my 9th grade year. And I was a dog at soccer,
Of course you were. Of course you were.
Yeah, so I really appreciate, these guys there. And soccer is a great sport, and I tell everybody, even if you love the game of football, when you're younger, play soccer. Play the game of soccer. It helps with your foot coordination, your hand-eye coordination, and everything like that. And shout out to the fall sports. We got soccer, men's soccer, women's soccer, volleyball, all those sports there. Come out and support those sports because it's absolutely huge. And coming to Michigan State to play a sport is something that's really special.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a great sweep tackler when I'm hitting your thigh boards and sweeping you.
Yeah,
it wasn't for soccer because I was always getting carded because I was like, if you
kept getting those yellow cards.
As a defender on the soccer field, I was knocking knees out, right?
I wish you were worse at sweep tackling because you really got me.
Absolutely. Hey, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. That's the motto, right? Obviously, we have tomorrow kickoff. We got MSU versus Central Michigan coming to East Lansing tomorrow for kickoff at 7:00. We will obviously break that down and later down in the show. But I'm looking forward to this interview.
I can't wait.
I know.
I'm excited about this.
I've been waiting to get Coach Johnson on to the show because she has absolutely stepped foot on campus and has brought back just the vibe and just the vibrance of Michigan State volleyball. And it started with as simple as getting them to compete in the Breslin. And that is a simple standpoint of
as they should,
absolutely.
Where they belong.
And so we want to welcome to the show Coach Leah Johnson. Welcome.
Yes!
Welcome.
Yes!
Hello. How are you guys?
Oh, we're good. Hey, I love the view. I love the view on the patio.
You know what? I just put the baby down. I came outside because the other kids are yelling because they don't have school tomorrow, so they get to watch a movie. It's the only way I could get some silence.
How old's your little one? How old's your little one?
She's good, thank you. Yep, 8 months this weekend. So survived last year being pregnant, now surviving with a newborn, but it has been awesome. Really, one of my kids just ran into the door.
I just heard that.
How was that? How was the transition from being pregnant and that and coaching through and now where you are now?
It's been good, and you guys said this a minute ago. Like, it's a special thing to come to Michigan State as a player, but it is as a coach too. Like, the amount of resources we have here and support we get, the love I get from other coaches, the support I get from my administration, the ability to have my family around, because this is not a job you do by yourself, and you spend a lot of time away from your family. So it can be lonely in that sense. It's isolating from your family, but you're with people, your Spartan family all the time. So for them to be blended, gosh, this is a special place to support me in that way.
That is awesome. So Coach Johnson, let me tell you this, right? If you ever need a practice player,
oh gosh,
I was all tournament team back in New York, in Buffalo, New York. I was all tournament team, a middle hitter. I was a middle hitter.
All right, okay, you're in town, right?
Yes.
Okay, you're coming to practice tomorrow. I've decided.
I am in.
Let's go.
I am in. Yes, I am in because I'm a middle hitter because I can spike from every angle.
Yes.
So
oh my coach, you got to know Jehuu. He is all about. He is confident. Like,
I am. You know what? I'll take confidence any day.
Absolutely.
I also live by the airport. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. So the really cool thing, Coach, is when I was in high school like I said, I was in a small town outside of Buffalo, New York. We did not have a soccer team, but you know what we had? We had a men's volleyball team.
That is nuts. The East does.
Yeah, exactly. And it was the middle of the season, after basketball season and before track season started. We had that. I was all tournament team, by the way, Coach.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I'm gonna make
gotta love Jehuu with the tournament thing.
You're on my board now.
Just let you know. And then when I came to Michigan State, it was really cool because a lot of the football players, they're like, dude, the exciting thing that's happening in East Lansing is the volleyball game. So we used to go there, and there was this girl, Jenny Rude, and she would just crush it, and the whole arena would go, Rude!
I love that so much. We need those positions back.
And I fell in love with it. And, Jenison was a facility that was really great. It was really close-knit, but I absolutely love the fact when you came in and you're like, you know what, we're taking this, we're going to, expose more fans to the game of volleyball. We're taking this to Breslin. What was the decision behind that? Because I'm 100% in. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, there's certainly more pros than cons. I'll tell you that, because it was, you leave a historical venue that has a rich tradition and there's been a lot of success. The viewing, proximity is nice, but boy, Breslin just shows better, right? You feel like you bring in an athlete and it's a first-class experience. They feel like they're playing on a stage. They're like the rest of the Big Ten. It's the #1 conference in the country. And when you walk into Breslin, it's apparent you're playing in the #1, conference in the country. And if our goal is to be at the top of that, we got to be in a space like that. Space creates energy. Your environment creates so much of who you are and what you stand for and what you believe about yourself. And you can overcome anything, don't get me wrong, but when we have such an amazing venue like the Brez, why wouldn't we want to perform there and represent, the green and white on that stage? And
absolutely,
recruiting especially, like, it shows better on TV. It represents who we are at a first-class way.
Absolutely. Coach, you coming from your last stepping ground in your last school you were coaching, just talk about the process. Like, this job was open, Kathy George was, a longstanding coach for Michigan
A
State.
legendary coach.
And just talk
That's
about,
awesome.
Yeah. Right. And so just talk about, when the job opened and the process started, and like almost the most important question is why Michigan State? Because clearly they came to you and you put your name in the hat. Just talk about the whole process fully of why Michigan State.
Oh, it feels like 20 years ago, but like yesterday, I don't know. So yeah, I was having a decent amount of success, right? Making multiple NCAA tournaments and really feeling at home in my previous situation with my family and my community. But there's a certain point where if you're a coach, you're hungry to be challenged and you want to continue to grow. And I think that's what it became apparent that was that next step for me. And believe me, I'm out of my comfort zone every day, and that's a good thing. But Michigan State, it was about the people. Like, I had spoken to a few other schools. I'd gone through some process with a few others and never had the same vibe. Like, it was like, I don't know. When I talked to Alan, I said, Alan, there's two things I want. I want to know I'm with good people, and I want a better venue. And we've already
right.
I said, we got to have a facility or it ain't worth doing. Like, I'm not just looking to run my head in the wall, So it had a lot to do with the type of people, like this mentality of put on your hard hat and go to work every day. I mean, nothing is going to be given. Everything is earned, but we're going to treat people right. We're going to have your back. We're going to value who you are. We're going to meet people where they're at. You don't have to fit a mold to be here. You have to be the best you that you can be. And so I just love that. I love how they support our program and how they support me, the person.
Yeah. So you see the video, like you took the trip to Arkansas, and you just said that, you're 2.5 hours away from where you just had last week. Talk about the competition, talk about the results of that, because that's really kind of the true testament of like what you've been working on in the off season, in the preseason. This was where you stand as a team. Right. Just talk about the competition going down there to Arkansas, and now we're looking forward to this weekend. But talk about that.
Sure. So we just made the trip down to Arkansas and Central Arkansas, and we got our first win at Central Arkansas on Sunday, and before that we were trying to kind of find ourselves. We didn't get an exhibition at all because there's so many matches in the Big Ten. We played 20 regular season games, and so we felt like we needed as many true competitions as we could get. And so at Arkansas, they just went 5 with Wisconsin last night, who's currently ranked #1 in the country. And we gave them a test, but we didn't come out ahead. We started 4 players who have never been starters before. And 3 of the 4 were freshmen. Mm-hmm. And that was such a big deal for us to go into that space and in that environment and lean on our upperclassmen, but knowing we had youth on the court and battle. And so it was great to cleanse our palate with a win at Central Arkansas in a pretty dominating fashion. And I'm trying to, I don't know, I guess to add that toughness, that grit, because I don't want it to be easy. I chose to play a top 25 game with a freshman team in our opening match because I said, it's not going to get easier.
Right.
I'd rather find out now where we're at and then go train, go work, go grind to get there. And I have no doubt we will. I can't tell you if it's tomorrow or this year, but this team's going to put their fingerprint on something special. And that's what we're driven to do every day.
Yeah, Coach, I absolutely love that, especially as a guy that has a daughter that's 2 years old. And, I know Otis is the same because last year we went to my daughter, my wife, and I went to a couple volleyball games last year. And Otis, he's at every volleyball game with his daughter.
He's there.
I am.
He is. And, but, the thing that's really cool is the exposure and the traction that volleyball's gaining right now. And you just saw last night what Nebraska did, with 90,000 plus, people at a football stadium to watch a volleyball game. How cool is that for you as a volleyball coach? And what's the inspiration for your players? Yeah. And also, too, how can we get something like that at Spartan Stadium?
Let's go. Okay.
Let's go.
There we go.
First of all, the sport itself, like the #1 fastest growing high school sport for girls and women, and the most played outside of track and field per numbers. So that in and of itself, like if you're looking to invest, volleyball is a sport to invest in right now, whether it's your time, your treasure, your resources, your energy, especially here in the Big Ten where we play, and for Michigan State. But I'm just so proud of the work we put in. They didn't just break an NCAA record. They broke a world record.
Right.
An entire football stadium was filled to watch a women's collegiate volleyball game. 92,000. It broke a record of a women's soccer, maybe it was an Olympic game in Barcelona, if I remember right.
Yeah, Brandy Chastain game.
Yeah, There you go. Exactly. And so when we think about the product we're putting on the court, you're talking about athleticism, speed, power. They're hitting 60 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour. It's nothing slow. It's dynamic. It's aggressive. It's engaging, and it's empowering, right? Like you've got a 2-year-old who's watching this on TV, and it was the second highest watched match on the Big Ten network ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Coach. Yeah, I have to tell my daughter, we're not coming to these games for you just to dance and have a great time. We're coming. Yeah, we can, but we're coming to learn, right? At 5 years old, like we're coming to learn. So
you guys know Coach Lorenzo Guest, Dr. Guest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right? So he brought his daughter in a practice the other day. He goes, Coach, I need you to show her how to serve. And I said, Lorenzo, I'm in the middle of my practice. I'm like, all right, come over. Let's go, Nadia. Let's go work. We're all Spartans.
Yeah, exactly. So Coach Johnson, that is, I literally took my daughter and she sat on my lap and we watched that volleyball game at Nebraska. But the thing is, Michigan State is forward thinking. You are forward thinking. You just said you came in and you're like, hey, we want a better venue. What is it going to take for us to do something? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
No, I love it. I like being put on the spot. That's why I'm here.
Because I'm all in for this. I want to be one of those driving factors because we played a basketball game on an aircraft carrier. We've played a hockey game on a football field. Mm-hmm. Why not a volleyball game in a football stadium?
Without a doubt. And why that, right? What's the thing we can do that's unique? Do we want to replicate or do we want to do something original? Because they clearly are in that space as a volleyball program. And so, that's my head is there too. And first and foremost, I got to continue to recruit at a level that gives us that chance. I know I got to do my job, but it's to some degree, it's not even about that. It's showcasing what is already special. Mm-hmm. It doesn't just have to be that you're winning at 100% to be entitled to play in a game like that. Everyone deserves to be in the forefront when you put in the work we put in. And I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about the student athletes. You guys know what it's like to be Spartans. It's a pride unlike anything else. And I am just so lucky to be in this position to even think about providing that for our student athletes. So I don't know, maybe we head up north and we do something special in the UP and, I don't know if anyone shows up there though. You're playing the football stadium down there in Detroit. Maybe we pick that one.
There you go.
Okay,
exactly.
Field.
I'm all in. I will be carrying that flag, Coach Johnson. I'm in for that.
Yes,
my daughter and I
will
be carrying that flag.
Yeah, anyone listening, you email Otis. You let him know. We're gonna make that happen.
Absolutely.
I'm fired up.
So, Coach, you talked about the fact of as a community, a Spartan nation, and everything. We got a lot of people that do tune into this show. What would you say to the people? How do we get funds, different things to get that volleyball program at the next level that we think that we know it can be where it can go?
Gosh, that's such a great question. And I think we have people who support at very generous levels. But you're right. It takes resources. We don't want to be the same. We want to be better. We don't want to be playing catch up. We want to be ahead and we want to be progressive and forward thinking. And those are things. So we're already using technology at a level that the Olympic team's mirroring. They consult with our sports scientists. We use video technology in our gym in a way that people are calling to ask, what is that? Where did you get that? How are you using that? So we're trying to do those things at an elite level already, but to sustain that, it does take friends of the program and fans. So the next big thing is, we do play in Breslin, but I'm not sure how long Tom's going to let me be his neighbor. So I'm kidding. But I hope to wear him down enough that he's like, Leah, what do you need? A facility? Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I just got to be the fly in his ear all the time, bugging him until he gets me out of there. But that's what we need. We need our own volleyball venue. When we go to Ohio State, when we go to Nebraska, when we go to Penn State, when we go to there's Indiana, they all have truly their own volleyball facility where the athletes are home. And here at Michigan State, we get to play in the Breslin. That was a demand of mine, and thankfully a similar vision to Alan. But there is something more, and there will be something more. And so that's what I would ask, if people can, when that opportunity comes, if you can go all in, because it will pay off. We're getting top 20 recruits on campus, and I know it's coming down to facilities.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So transitioning to, obviously, we were looking for an this weekend.
Yeah.
We have a nice all-star lineup of who we're competing with and against. And, we talk about, we have our own. Last year, we had a Hall of Famer, Kathy DeBoer, who I used to represent the WBCA and the NABC, which is our basketball coaches association. But we were always trying to get to the level of the ABCA, like the coaches, volleyball coaches association, the convention. If you've never been, it is an absolutely it's at the Mecca. Like, everyone's trying to reach it, and like you said, fastest growing sport. But we have our very own in Kathy DeBoer, and then I know you and I have sat down in a meeting and talked about how you pay homage and honor what she's done for the sport. And we obviously made that into Kathy DeBoer Invitational, presented by all the owners. Talk about just bringing back past history, giving her flowers, obviously, while she's here.
Yeah.
And then talk about the competition, because we have an all-star lineup this weekend.
Right.
Just talk about this whole thing.
Yeah. So, okay. First of all, Kathy, I remember when Kathy called me when I got the job and wished us well. She was still currently the president of the ABCA. And I held this alumni Zoom meet and greet, and she was on one of them. And here's why she is special. Because the first thing she said to me is, how are you going to sell more tickets? What are they going to do for you? How's your event management going to be? She was pushing for me to push because it was never going to be enough. And that's why the ABCA, like you said, is kind of the pinnacle of a coaches association. It always has an agenda. It is always moving the ball forward. It grows the game. It grows the fan base. And she is so much a part of that. And, I'm sitting in this meeting. I'm like, I'm just trying to meet everybody. And she's like, Leah, what are you going to do for this? What are you going to do for this? And I was like, okay, Kathy, this is not your meeting, but it's your meeting. Go ahead, please.
Absolutely.
Yes, I will. But honor is one of our core values. We are not here without someone like Kathy. I'm not even, I'm one of 4 female coaches in the entire Big Ten. Wow. And we'll stay that way even when we add 4 more teams. Okay. So this is crazy. Not yes, it's nuts. Right. And and that's okay. I have great peers but she has made it possible for me to go against odds. And so I'm glad that she comes back. And when she retired, it was the first thing that came to mind. How do we honor her, and how do we capture the combination of her in our sport and a Hall of Famer at our institution? Because Michigan State's home a lot of firsts. We are leaders in so many ways, and, equity and, diversity, inclusion, we do it. I just found out the other day we're the first school to welcome international students. I mean, who knew, right? We do it, and we will continue to do it. And so that's why honoring our past helps us, move our future forward too.
Yeah. So when you did signing day, we actually did some highlights of your recruits coming in. You went global, right? You went global, and you hit the market on a recruiting trail. Talk about the newcomers that came in, and how the team culture has kind of embraced that, and just your coaching style, because it is different, but it's more so it is challenging. It's confront and demand. I think that's the whole
I'm very demanding
there.
Yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, I'm pretty direct, and so I just I knew that I didn't want to compromise in terms of talent. And when I arrived, we had 7 athletes in the gym, great humans, hard workers. I love them all. But I also knew to compete in the Big Ten, I'm not going to find someone just sitting around that can play at this level the next year. We recruit 2 years out. So my hand was forced to go international, which I was excited about. I want people from all walks of life, all experiences, all beliefs, because, this is family. When you get here, we're one. And everyone is welcome. And so going international, we have players from Turkey, 2 athletes who play in a top league in Turkey. We have this year we added 2 athletes from Poland who were both invited to be on their youth national teams. We've already committed an athlete in the future that is an international star playing with their senior national team. Can't say too much more about that, but we've worked really hard to maybe what we don't have domestically that we can get internationally in skill until people realize that Michigan State's back on the map. And that's what I'm really excited about with our recruiting. And we have talent from the US, we have talent internationally, and we're doing our best to continue that.
Coach, so can you break down the difference with international talent and a talent that's in the U.S.? Like, what's the recruiting difference? Like, what's the difference in skill set of the game?
Yeah. So if you come to the game this weekend, right, and you're going to see some of our international players. We have a player from New Zealand, for example. International volleyball, you only get 7 subs. Right? Mm-hmm. People don't come off the court. In the U.S., we specialize, and we talk about that a lot in all sports. How it's a disadvantage to start specializing so early. And that's where football is unique, because everyone's like, hey, football, they don't specialize, they play track. Well, there's also not club. There's a 1 season in high school, right?
Right.
Well, volleyball, it's year round. All these other sports, we're forcing our athletes to do things year round, but we don't train them like all round athletes. We train them like a specialty in a sport. And that's the biggest difference, that we are really pushing for the U.S. to start training more well-rounded athletes. So when you see our international players, they may not be as physical, but they have elite skill because they played the whole game. So it's been good.
So, Coach, before we let you go, I know we really appreciate your time, and we will be at the game this weekend. I love it. I absolutely love it. And being a Michigan State Spartan and going to the volleyball games, I loved it. But 2037, the class of 2037, my God.
I'm on it.
He put the silent plug in there for you, Coach.
Has he no mercy? Okay, thank you guys so much.
No, thank you. You could be anywhere else, but we appreciate you spending time with us on your evening.
Thank you, Coach Johnson.
So
I'm in a room of legends here. Like I'm the lucky one. Okay. All right.
I told you it was relaxed, right? It's not
just remember 20.
Next time I need a beer.
37, Jehuu Caulcrick.
You guys are the best. Okay.
I'd like to see.
All right, go green.
Thank you. Go green, Coach. Go white. Oh, that's great. Look, great. I'm glad obviously we had 10, 15 minutes. We obviously went longer than that, but I'm glad she spent time with us to allow Spartan Nation to get to know Coach Johnson. Like, we have the elite of the elitists in our coaching staff, and you see that our student athletes, especially volleyball, like, she's not coming here just to, hey, I'm cruising. No, we are going to be competitive, and we're going to compete with the best. And so if you are in town, you're coming in for football, and then you're staying tomorrow night, and you're checking out Saturday, you need to take yourself to Breslin, and you need to check it out, watch that game on Saturday, and support our women's volleyball team. So appreciate you, Coach.
The best thing about her, it's and just listening to her and her philosophies and everything. This is not a stepping stone for her. Nope. We've known coaches that Michigan State was a stepping stone for them. For Coach Johnson, this is not a stepping stone, and that's really something that's exciting.
Absolutely. Well, Stray. You've been coming in and out. Look, we've been holding it down, but we're gonna give the keys back to the host.
I want to ask Stray a question before we give him the
All right. Okay.
Hey, Stray, is this game week?
It is game week, guys. You know, there's a game tomorrow, football game tomorrow, then a volleyball game after that game, which it's soccer game tonight, as a matter of fact. Women's soccer's tonight.
Women's soccer's tonight.
Look, guys, like, you know, had some technical difficulties. You know, it is what it is. You know, I don't know what's going on. We're at the Graduate Hotel here. Got 2 beds behind me. Got my dogs with me right now. And that was an awesome interview. You guys handled it well. Thank you, guys. Look at that.
Otis took the reins and ran with it.
Man, look.
It's awesome.
Otis took it and ran. Otis,
you know,
he's ready.
He's the host
time, baby.
He's a future host.
He ran.
Look,
awesome. Go ahead. Let's go to break. Go ahead, Stray. I'll give it back to you.
I mean, look, all I'm saying, look, you don't have to give it back. We have these sharing this thing together.
Oh, okay.
Not me versus. This is all of us together.
Right. Who am I?
That was an awesome interview.
Absolutely.
And we got to talk to a legend. Okay, we're going to break down this football game with a legend in Flozell Adams after this message from our friends over at IHOP and SeatGeek.
Introducing new buttermilk biscuits in sweet and savory flavors, so everyone can have their perfect biscuit. Or add one on the side. Get a breakfast biscuit sandwich with a side for just $7 for a limited time.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception, first down, just a nice solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Well, gentlemen, without further ado, we got to bring on, a legend, All-American at Michigan State University.
My guy.
Dallas Cowboy, legend. Flozell Adams joins the show. What's up, Flo?
Oh, you on mute? No. Oh, we're going to have to get him right, get it tight.
But while Flo's figuring that out, I talked to Javon, I talked to so many running backs. Who would not want to run behind that guy?
I mean, no, not even that guy. You got 2 guys, Stray snapping, and you got Flo on that edge. Like, come on, man. Like, that's bad news bears right there, bro.
I can eat for days. I can eat for days, as the running backs would say. Flo, can you hear us?
No. Tell me probably need to go back out, come back in. Can he? We'll get Tony G to get him right. Yep, get him come back in. Now listen, we're gonna talk about some stories now. Oh, Stray having issues too?
No.
Okay. No. So I always joke. So when we talked about when you see Flozell and you give him that shake or that handshake, you better be You better be prepared. You remember, next Friday and in the Matrix, it's coming in like
pause.
Hey, you talking about SeatGeek, the slapping paws?
That's a
I
pause.
can only imagine. It's just oh my gosh, man. He put your paws on you. You might as well just go ahead and just fold. Because that man, I can only imagine trying to blitz and thinking I'm gonna get past Flozell. It's unreal.
You're thinking about it from a defensive back's perspective, right?
Absolutely.
You're trying to get home with, going against number 76. Hey, that was that's a tall order, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
For a rarity for guys like me, it was always fun. I like shaking Flo, saying he's one of the only humans I can lean into.
Yeah, because you're a part of that. We are one. Yeah.
Look, y'all been big since birth.
Right. It feels good.
But the thing is, guys, this is it's game week. It's game week. No. At the end of the day, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Flo.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
We got it. Whoop, whoop.
Flo, what's up with you, man?
Nothing, man. I I heard Otis talk about my hands. He never had a chance to experience that slap on the back of the helmet, though.
I don't want to. I don't want to, bro. Like, good luck.
That's when we had some real helmets back in the day instead of this whole synthetic fiberglass they got right now.
Synthetic fiberglass. I mean, it is a kind of gentler football that they play right now, Flo. Let's talk about like how things were. You know, go back to 1993. Proviso, was it West?
Proviso West, baby.
Yeah, you're a new guy coming in, wet behind the ears, coming into East Lansing under George Perlis, man. Like, how did you get to Michigan State?
Well, I got to Michigan State. I only visited 4 schools. I visited Michigan State. I visited Northwestern. I visited Iowa. No, not Iowa, Illinois. And I visited that other school. Yes. I'm going to tell you something. I went to a game, and Gary Moeller was a coach at that time. And my dad drove me from Chicago all the way to Ann Arbor and had the big showdown, the jerseys under your name and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, man, look at this. Look at this stadium. I've never been in a stadium, 100,000 and stuff. And I am telling you the truth is that I felt the vibe. I felt the interaction with the players and everything. But once we were driving home, and I never forget after 20, 30-some years about this, I'll never forget driving home, and I've seen that going west on 94, and I saw the Jackson side. And my dad said, what did you think? I said, Dad, I don't know about that school. I don't know. I really wasn't feeling it like I thought I should feel it. So right then I went on for a couple of weeks, and then I just said no. I didn't like him at all, and that was before I even went to Michigan State. So I X'd them out. I honestly, God, tell you the truth, I X'd them out before I even visited Michigan State. Then once I visited Michigan State, it was like I met the players and everything. And I was like, wow, these are the type of guys I like. I like these guys. I mean, they're not walking around and thinking they're better than anybody or acting like any prissies or anything like that. I mean, they welcomed me. They welcomed me. And they were like some brute players, too, no matter whether you're offensive lineman, defensive lineman, DB, wide receiver, kicker. It didn't matter. It's just like everybody gelled together as more than just a team, or just a family.
Flo, we don't like the kickers here.
Hey, Choo don't like the kickers, man. He don't even consider them people.
Oh, no. Hey, I just roll with it. That's how I do it, man. That's how I do it. So Michigan State was always tops on my list. And a lot of people don't know that I had actually committed to Illinois until the last day.
Last day?
Yeah, I ain't never heard this.
I committed to Illinois until the last day.
And what changed?
Coach Shermer had was my recruiting guy, whatever you call him. And even
Pat
though
Shermer?
Pat Shermer. And even though I had committed to Illinois, and I felt that that's where the school where everybody thought I should go, because Illinois, believe it or not, was kind of good back in the day. And all the time I was committed for like a whole month, I was like, I'm feeling very, very uneasy about this, and I just didn't like my decision. So I called Coach Shermer up. I'll never forget the day we had to sign. It was February 3rd, the national letter of intent. I called him up like 3 a.m. Michigan time. He picked up the phone right away. He's like, hey, Flo, what's up? And I said, hey, Coach, you have any more scholarships? Because I really want to change my mind. He was like, no, Flo, we already gave all our scholarships away. I'm like, I'm sorry. And he said, oh, wait. No, stay on the phone. Let me call you back. I'm sitting on the phone. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting right there waiting, please let them change their mind. I get a call 10 minutes later. He said, hey, I woke Coach Perlis up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He said, give him a damn scholarship. So that's how I ended up in Michigan State. I mean, Michigan State, even though I was committed to Illinois, that was my first true love, and I'm glad I changed my mind at the last minute.
So that made you sweat it out a little bit there.
Oh, yeah. I was sweating out more than just that time, the whole month, because I didn't know. I was a dumb 17-year-old kid, stuff that make decisions we make. But that whole month, 6 weeks, I was really, really discouraged on the decision I made. But I committed to Illinois, and I wanted to go to Michigan State, but I was trying to make a decision where I thought that everybody thought I should go. But then after a while, I was like, I need to make a decision where I want to go. So that's when it happened, even though it was like almost 5 hours too late. But I'm glad that it eventually happened.
So Flo, that is the reason right there. This is probably what coaches talk about when they talk about recruiting stories, why they can't ever turn their ringer off and they can't sleep at night because recruits may call them in the middle of the night. It's probably you that have caused these coaches such a very rough lifestyle from, even to today, 30 years later, Flo, because that's the rub on college recruiting is that, recruits do call at midnight, after midnight, and say, "Hey, coach," and you better answer because, like, look at this. Michigan State lands a Hall of Famer, you know what I mean? Like, an All-American caliber player who changed his mind in the 9th hour. So you come to Michigan State in 1993. That was a great class for George Perlis, I can remember. That was a big class. You came in with the guys like Reggie Garnett, Ike Reese, Nigel Carter.
That was like the best class ever. I mean, better than a class that either one of you guys were on. You know that, right?
Oh yeah,
we know that.
I'm not even about to. I'm not.
Ain't nobody fighting. Come on now.
Hey, don't be scared, Otis. You're 1,500 miles away. Don't be scared.
Hey, I'm telling you, like, y'all had some dogs, bro. Like, let's be real, y'all had some.
Nah. But we did have a good class, and we had some true freshmen start that year. Brian Echols, Nigel Carter, Reggie Garnett. I think we had a lot of true freshmen. As long as I can remember, me and Ike Reese were the only ones that were redshirt. Probably a couple of others I can't think of because it's been so long ago. But yeah, that was definitely a great class that we had.
So Flo, we always look at like, what if Coach Shermer or Pat did not answer the phone? Like, was you going to be blowing him up, or like you was going to go to Illinois? Like, because if you would have answered the phone at 3 a.m., like, you would have been like, oh, well, right, I got to go to Illinois. But, like, it's those what if factors. Like, what if?
Well, no matter what, I'm 18 years old and 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, I'm the type of guy that would have stuck with what would have happened. So it's really no telling what would have happened if they would answer the phone. I mean, I probably most likely would have stuck with Illinois and just deal it out because, back then when we were playing like Stray, there wasn't any transfer portals or anything like that. So you made a decision. You got to stay. I mean, it wasn't a transfer. If you transfer to another school, you might as well get the water bucket in the cup. You might as well start getting other guys water because you're not playing. I don't care how good you are if you transferred back in the day. But most likely I would have stayed in Illinois. Hey, who knows what happened? But that's not the point for me. I mean, I made my decision in Michigan State. Thank God that he was watching over a particular situation and blessed me with coming to Michigan State. And I'm glad I made the decision. Best decision, one of the best decisions of my life.
Yeah. So Flo, there's a lot of times where, former guys like you, for some other linemen, like it was TJ Duckett for me, and you're done, you played, you left an impact on the university, and then you come back, you always like find a way to give back to the younger guys. Like, what does that mean for you? Like, because you'll come back, you'll give back to the younger guys. TJ Duckett, he came back, he gave back to the running backs room and everything like that. Like, what does that mean? Like, what is the pride in giving back?
I have a pride of giving back, period. And, Michigan State was a place where you became a man when you were a boy. So you turned from a boy to a man. And even though, we're in a different generation or anything like that, it's still the same. It's still a family, no matter what. Like I'm here talking to you guys. I mean, me and Strayhorn are pretty much the same class, so to speak, and you guys are like the same class. We can sit and talk and chew the rag all night about Michigan State or anything. That's how it is when it comes to us. And I know guys that went to other schools that they don't have what we have. They don't have a Spartan Dawg type of thing. They don't even talk to some of their former players. What type of stuff is that? Mm-hmm. I mean, I get that. That's ridiculous to me because we have what we have. We're certainly blessed with that. But giving back, like sometimes I'm on the sideline and, offensive line coach, you can't see everything. So, I mean, looking at this guy, looking at this guy, and if I see something, I go behind like, hey, keep your hands up. You're like, what? Huh? Outside, and up. You're dropping it and you're giving the outside. Okay. And then he's out there looking like coach, and he keeps his outside. I'm like, yes, he got it. So, hey, it just never hurt just to go out and just help a guy and tell him what things that he should do, and hopefully that he do it, no matter if it's on the field or off the field.
Right. So with that, I jumped in real quick because Otis and Stray, like, they be saying I steal the question.
They be saying. I don't know why they say that, but go ahead.
So I have to jump in real quick. So, Flo, you are an old school lineman. You are a lineman from the pack, Stray, old school lineman and stuff. So we look at the boys nowadays where they get the one leg sleeve, the one arm sleeve, the one knot. Like, what are your thoughts on today's offensive line?
I feel like it'll be like pretty boy.
Why you gonna ask him that?
Most of these kids out there worried about how they look and then play the doggone game. For the love of life, I don't see of any. I can't talk about the Michigan State line. I don't know what they're doing. I talk to them, as is. I don't think I've seen any of them with any sleeves on.
Yeah.
I don't have sleeves on.
There's some with sleeves on. Okay, so linemen with sleeves in cold weather games. Talk about that.
Man. That's a no.
And you saw it, you go like, what?
You have some sleeves on, man. And how you gonna have sleeves on playing a football player? You from Detroit?
I'm just saying that's what happens. And linemen with one leg sleeve on and one not leg sleeve on. Like, what do you like? Like today's age.
I guess they never got the memo. Is that depending on what type of sleeves you're on, that the actual defensive lineman, just that one little snug, can get a sack. So you don't want any defensive lineman to grab the sleeves that you're on because you don't want to get a little scratch on your arm.
So you're going out there. You're going out there for you. Let's say you're playing Penn State, end of the year, and your fellow lineman that's next to you has long sleeves on. What do you say?
I will tell right now.
No, in your day. In your day.
I will listen, man. If you can't take that thing off right on the sideline by halftime, we come out in the third quarter, you got to take those sleeves off. Because if that defensive tackle grabs you on a TE and I can't get you off because he's grabbing, and then another defensive end runs to the inside, and then it doesn't look like that I did anything, it's going to look bad on me. So take them damn sleeves off, man. We ain't playing that.
And look, that's when Flo snap a period.
That was a great point. Chu, you said Penn State. That's a beautiful school you brought up there because I think I remember playing against Penn State with Flozell in 1997, I believe, Flo. And I think that still is a record. Like, we had 2 running backs over 200 yards. You remember that game?
Yes, very, very, very. They had like 3 All-Americans on that team, and we just demolished them. We ran that play over and over again.
The G.
Hey, you had an excellent game, I should say.
Oh, look at Hey, did y'all set that up pre?
No.
Chu
set it up.
I give credit
the interrupter.
Credit is due. But yeah, really the whole offensive line. You had like 430 yards around the whole offensive line. We were just beating those dudes up. Okay, we got all these All-Americans on the team, and we got this guy, that guy. Why pass? Just shove it down their throat. Beat them up. And, some type of offense these days, no matter whether it's an NFL and college, they give up on the run so easy. They right in the first quarter, instead of beating those guys up, you sit up there and give them life. They have life the whole game. You start beating them up, they're not going to have anything in the third or fourth quarter. So they get to run so much these days that it just doesn't even work. Those guys just get life. So I don't understand. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but
I think you know what you're talking about. So Flo, real thing too. So when I played, we used to in college, because I didn't have money. It wasn't NIL. We didn't have all that money and everything like that. So I would give, after big games, I would write my offensive linemen handwritten notes and put it in every one of their lockers when they'll come back in for Sunday's practice. When you were in the league, it's a little different now. The quarterbacks will give you guys some good gifts. What was the best gift that you got from a quarterback?
I'm gonna ask you one quick question. When you signed it, did you put choo choo on there?
Of course, I use my alter ego.
Oh, heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But, the quarterbacks were the one that gave the good gifts. When I first got in, Troy gave us free first round air trip tickets anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world.
That was his gift.
3.
That was his gift for Christmas. And I was with him 2 years. I honestly can't remember what the second one was because it's been a while, but it was just as good. And we had a couple of other quarterbacks in back at that time. You know, we had some free agents and stuff and some 6th rounders, 7th rounders, so they couldn't afford it. We just pat on the back, man. We understand.
So where did you go? Where did you take that trip to?
I think I went to Miami or something. That was early.
Anywhere
I'm like 21, 22 years old. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't know nothing about overseas at that time. Right now, if they give me two, shoot, I'm going to freaking, what's that place? Dubai. That's where I'm going. Dubai. Yeah, somebody gave it up tickets. I'm going to Dubai. But Emmett gave some good gifts. He gave us some pictures of himself and some buckleheads.
Pictures of himself.
So
in a few years, you can cash this in.
Yeah, look up on my eBay website. Nah, I'm keeping up things forever. They on my shelf right here, man. But so when Tony Romo came, Tony Romo gave us some good suits. He got us some suits.
Okay.
Ooh. He got us full suits. 1 year he gave us full what do they call those coats? Full coats that you wear over the
suit. Some meat boys? Some meat coats?
Yeah, custom made earphones.
Okay.
Marion Barber.
Yeah.
Barber, he gave us the starting 5 Breitling watches.
What?
Yeah, man.
You still got that watch?
Oh,
that
yeah.
custom
I still wear it.
You feel some type of way.
I still wear it, man.
I got a great Breitling watch story. So I'm with the Jets. And so
yeah, what you give?
I gave
right.
So I went out, right? My rookie year. I made the 53. I was like, oh, I'm okay. I'm doing a little something. I go out, I give every lineman a $500 Champ Sports gift card.
A who?
Champ Sports.
Oh,
the mall.
Hey, I'll take that.
That'll work
take it right now.
Yeah. So I go into that, blah, 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 blah. And then Thomas Jones come in. Merry Christmas, y'all. Give Breitling watches.
I'll be like, I'll take yours right here, and I'll take yours right here. Thank you very much.
Cheap ass shoes somebody put up there, Mr. Bowman. Damn. Hey, Flo, you brought up something about the Russian attack that, a lot of times offensive coordinators go away from, unfortunately. Looking at tomorrow's game, I'm going to ask you to break this down. We're going to break this down together here. We're not going to just, we're going to talk about your history and all that too. What do you think Michigan State needs to do tomorrow to knock off these chips?
Man, I remember, I saw some article the other day about just showing how many times that Michigan State had lost to Central Michigan. And I remember when I visited Michigan State after a game, when I was in high school, I was at Central Michigan. I came to the Central Michigan game. They lost.
Oh,
and at that time, that was one of those unofficial visits.
I was done.
That was one of those unofficial visits, and I had a couple of guys on the team that were there. And we were riding back. We had rented a big old Catalan van. We riding back. They're like, man, that school sucked. They're like, man, don't even think about going on Michigan State. They're going to lose to a MAC school. And I was sitting up there, I'm like, yeah, that was kind of, situation right there. Because that was one of the second games of the season. That was before I knew how Michigan State was. But my mind totally changed once I went to the school and saw it myself. I don't give a damn about what they lost to or not. It was all about the guys and the system and everything like that. But for tomorrow's game, just like I said, Central Michigan has a chip on their shoulder. They're going to play like, okay, this is Big Ten guys, Michigan State and all this and that, but we got to do something unorthodox and stuff that these guys have never seen. So probably they're going to sit up there and watch the tape from last year, the last 4 games, because that's all they have to go on. And they're just going to do some crazy stuff that the Michigan State guys haven't seen yet. So the best thing you can do to see what these guys are going to do against you is just run the ball. Run it. Stick it up there right in the middle. Just keep pounding. Pound, green, pound, baby. Just pound it. And then you're going to see how the defenses are and how they're going to react to it and all of this stuff. And then that's when you got to make your plans on what you need to do. Because if you pound, and then start giving it up and they want to start throwing it and stuff, hey, I don't think that's going to be looking good, especially against a team like Central Michigan. Because never underestimate a team like Central Michigan, just because it's the MAC schools and all that stuff, Western Michigan. The Central Michigan, we played them, they were kind of some of the hardest teams to beat. I mean, they were trying to harder to beat than when we played Indiana and things like that. So you never should take these guys for granted. You're going to treat this like a doggone bowl game.
Absolutely. They have a
That's
chip
what I
on their
do.
shoulder.
Go out there and just keep smashing them and pounding them and make them pay. But let them thinking what they think they're coming into this place and going to win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Flo, so
which helps with the time of possession right there. Because, I mean, that's the thing. Go ahead, Chu.
No. You're 100% right, Stray. You got to continue to run the football and establish that run game, because what that's going to do is that's going to open up your passing game for you, especially with a newer quarterback that's not as experienced as the past has been. So with that said, Flo, the people want to know, Flo, when are you coming back to a game this year?
Oh, I'll be back for homecoming.
Okay.
I heard that.
Maryland game.
Is that Maryland?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It is.
Homecoming is Maryland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, I'm going to be there at homecoming.
Why are you arguing with us?
No, it's not.
He's like, no, it's not.
I need to change it on my schedule right now, man. That's crazy.
He's mad at us.
Hey, and Otis, by the way, you weren't graduated by the time what he was talking about. He was talking about 92. You was 5 years old, bro.
First of all, Jay, you gonna talk about? I was Otis. We lost to Central Michigan. I was gone.
Yeah, that's what.
Nobody.
No, I was not there.
Here,
No, he's just talking about losses. He's just talking about losses.
For losing to the chips.
No, I picked that up.
I ain't losing no
chips.
I ain't losing no chips now. I ain't losing.
I would beat the chips.
Ain't nobody lost to no damn chips on this damn podcast.
Absolutely.
I would beat them. Otis would have that costume there.
Yeah, Jay, the math ain't math. He can't do math right now. I was gone by that time.
Okay.
Yeah. No, look, Flo. Let's
trick or treating.
Look, Flo. I think people got to know. When I was a fundraiser, man, we talked about giving back. Chu talked about where did that come from. You've always been the guy of giving, and I was part of as a young fundraiser. Jason was very pivotal of bringing you back to campus. And one is we were fundraising for that north end zone, like one of the facilities pieces of. We went from the really woodshed locker room, we all dressed, and I do remember us in that meeting and discussing how the importance of paying homage and respecting your mother and putting a gift to the north end zone. Talk about that, because that's still a monumental spot where you really the trajectory of the Spartan football program with Coach D being there. I mean, we obviously took flight. Facilities were very important, but talk about how that came about. And then I obviously got stories, obviously, when
we got that picture.
We had a celebration after that.
Do we have a picture?
Yeah, we do have the picture. So, yeah. So,
damn, that's good right there, man.
Lovely, man. Lovely. So, talk about how it came about, Flo. Because I know it was you got the bread. You've been very smart, strategic with your money and what you made. But talk about the importance of giving back to the alma mater, like you say, you became a man.
Well, I didn't know much about it because, being in the NFL, I played 13 years, I wasn't able to come back during the games, unfortunately. And then sometimes, most of the time when we were traveling to whoever we were playing, Michigan State was playing. So I could never really see the game, and, can't watch highlights on the hotel TV or anything like that. But once I retired, I started coming back and everything, and then I started talking to Stray and everything. And I can't remember exactly what happened, but they were talking about fundraising for the end zone and everything. So I remember being in that stadium shortly after that. It was something I was in there. I was in the stadium with something else, and I remember it was like I sit on the field. I'm like, man, my mom needs to sit right there, and I can, no matter what. It seemed like when we get a touchdown on that far end where you go in the locker room, I could hear her yelling out of freaking 80,000 people. So that's very monumental to me that my mother was there, and she came as much as she can to the games, and I felt that was very important to contribute or help the locker room, not just for that, to help with the recruiting and everything, because that's what it's all about these days. It's just the truth to fashion. I mean, you got to have very good facilities to be able to get maximizing your recruiting. And plus, and another thing, this is really number one. That stuff was down there since 1928.
This stadium was built 100 years ago.
None of us were here back then. They had lime on the wall and stuff. There's a trickle of water. Like, goodness gracious, man. And one toilet. You got 90 guys sharing 3 toilets and one was working. I'm thinking, like, this is not what talk about was really going on when I was in the league. And then when I started coming back, they said, it's still only one toilet working. I said, after 15 years. So, my mom being there and recruiting tools to help recruiting, and just to get a better looking facility. I mean, I'm looking at that, I'm like 80 years old. So that was back when my grandmother was born, and she was a kid. So that's what I felt is the 3 beneficial things that happened with getting that end zone, back end zone, and the name sit on the locker room. So, it was just one of those things that I felt that it should happen. I talked to Stray then and then D'Antonio and everything, and we sat there and talked a couple of times about it, and I just felt it was right. Simply.
The big thing about it is very nostalgic. Stray and I were there today at the facility, talking to the equipment guys and everything, and we looked and we saw, that sign, and it just felt really cool, because the fact that we know the type of person you are, and everything. It was such a really good feeling to know, hey, this guy really cares about the program and is giving back into the program. That was something that's really special, just us standing there and looking at it. And we made sure we took a picture and sent it to you.
He could have, but another thing is that what do they have? What the statistic is, less than 1% of the guys in the college that graduate or finish with their careers never go to the NFL, and I've been significantly blessed. Thank goodness for that. Thank God for that. But see, no matter what happens, these guys come here, and most of them are not going to make it. But it's the fact we went to Michigan State, we all stick together as best we can. And anything I can help, if I can help or anything, that's what I like to do. So just simple with that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was in LA visiting Stray. We went out, we hung out, met you out for dinner, and it was just like, I didn't play, I didn't run behind you, but just sitting there talking, it was like, hey, we're all one. I really appreciated that. And that's that Spartan dog. When people talk about what it means to be a Spartan dog, that is exactly it right there, embodied, in what you do, Flozell. Really appreciate it. I look forward to you coming back for their homecoming. Now when it is.
You're going to be there full fledged. You're going to be hyped. You better get ready. I know Stray's going to be hyped. You're going to come down and Stray.
I'm going to damn sure be hyped, man. Look, I'm always hyped when you come around.
Hey, Flo, I gotta say something though. Stray got 2 boys that can play now.
I seen them.
I heard. I know. I heard them tips. I heard them tips.
That's
Like,
why they do.
I'm really not a computer guy, but what do they call those things? Algorithms or something that these computers pick up whatever you type, whatever you say on it, and stuff pops up on Stray Son.
Yeah.
Sometime on Twitter, formerly it's X, and the Instagram thing, whatever that stuff is. And then I saw a picture. This is probably like a month ago, and he posted something with that other people's helmet on. And when I saw that, like the mucus started coming out my eyes, and I started like,
you and me both.
Hey, look,
I love my son, but I love Michigan State first. But I love my son. So hey, you gotta do strange things. Listen, it's a process.
That's gonna be hard, man.
We get it. We get it straight. We know where you stand. We know you ain't about that side.
No matter what, we know where you stand.
Believe me, I like in the words of the late great Charlie Mad Dog Thornhill when they were recruiting his two sons over there at the school down the road. If they do decide to go there, I'll see them once a year.
Hey.
I'm not gonna stop them, but I'll see them once a year.
Well, if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't stop them too. But that's still a hard pill to swallow. But if I were in your shoes or anything like that, I don't care what. I'm gonna see my son and love my son. But I am not gonna wear anything that's associated with that. I promise you. I ain't wearing it. How you doing? All right.
Did I start something here? Did I start something here?
I'll see you in 4 years, son.
Yeah, see you in 4 years.
Hey, you dead to me, son. Look, it's that real for me. I'm like, there's no way.
Alicia gonna be soft. Alicia gonna be soft. She's gonna be all there.
No. She ain't soft.
Shake yourself out of sleep.
Straight still gonna be doing color.
I don't care.
Just because my former teammate, my boy's son, I be rooting for him. I'm like, yeah, man, I didn't accept one game. Except one game. We already know what one game. I hope that sucker lose that game. He can win all the other ones. Yeah. One other game? No.
Hey, straight. Should we talk about when I almost got fired?
Yeah, bring it up.
Look, Flo, when you made the commitment verbally. Remember, you was like, hey, I'm gonna make the gift. North end zone. And
we told him what it was gonna take. It was gonna take.
Well, I knew what it was gonna take. I was like, I'm rolling the red carpet off of Flo. Like, this is the OG. This is the guy that hasn't been back. We gotta give him all the love. We gotta show him that campus, like we've changed, but we need him to be loved. Like we
recruited you, Flo.
Yeah, absolutely. You had to give him back.
It was an official visit.
So you remember, Flo? Flo, you remember we went to Gilbert and Blake's. And we had a good lunch, right? But
a great lunch, right? We had a great lunch. Hey, look.
No, look. What's the point? Let him talk. What's his point? What's your point?
Listen. So after that, like my boss man says, "Hey, go ahead, take care of the bill." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm about to take care of the bill." They left the restaurant. They went to go get some more, bottles for us to keep going. I'm the defensive back. Y'all the linemen. We out here it started at 1:00. We just going, right? We having a great time. And then we go to the stateroom. So that week after, I get called into the principal's office. And they go, "Hey, I see this receipt. There's a discrepancy in the alcohol and food." I'm like, do you understand? I was with 3 offensive linemen, and we having a great time. And Flo, as a former student athlete, this is a big gift for former student athletes. We about to celebrate.
You're right.
I'm like, So, you about to get fired.
Hey, look. Check this out.
Hey, look, but I was willing. Look, Flo, I was like, look, we got the gift, right?
Hey, look, that was a very, 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 very good evening.
It was.
But one thing about that evening that I think about every once in a while, I haven't thought about that in a while since you just said it, but now I remember that.
Look, now you remember it.
No, I remember it. It just helped me start remembering again.
Gotcha.
What I do remember is like one of those 80s songs that you only heard. That's the only time that these people had a hit. They're called a one-hit wonder. So that evening was a one-hit wonder. But after y'all got what you got,
I don't know, Cole.
Hey,
I was in LA.
No, we're doing it again.
In Maryland, it's gonna happen in Maryland. Trust me, it's gonna happen in Maryland.
Hey, it's straight. It happened again.
Hey, but look.
Hey, you hear it right here. This Boston now.
Yeah.
I was gone. Look, I was gone, Flo. I came down to you. I was in Dallas. Really.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I see you down here. Where was you down here? Doing a bowl game, right? Oh, for nothing.
No, I was working at SMU. You know, I left. I had to float.
You had to expand his horizon.
I had to expand. But now I'm back. So we about to host you. We about to have a great time.
All right.
Hey, Flo, real quick before we let you go, what do the Spartans have to do tomorrow to win?
What do the Spartans have to do tomorrow to win?
Yes.
Just beat them up.
Physical.
Beat them up.
Fair enough.
Beat them up. This quarterback, I don't care how many times he's been in the game. I don't know. I've probably seen it about 5-6 times, but I don't think how many has he even really started in the games? If he has, to me, I don't know the statistic on him, but I assume he hasn't started a lot of games. So you got to protect the quarterback. You got to run. You got to beat those guys up. The more you run, the more you help the quarterback, and he can throw about 12, 13 passes a game and get a little 115 yards, 130 yards, maybe a touchdown. And I see the success in that. So, and no matter what the defense does, you got to score. You got to score. If the Central Michigan offense sucks, I don't know. And the defense stops them. It doesn't matter how many times Michigan State gets in there. Each time you get up there, you got to score. So, number one thing, beat them up and keep the quarterback safe so he can make as minimal passes as possible.
Right. And,
awesome.
And they know that too.
Last question. Can we have you back on the show in a couple weeks?
All right, come back. Yes.
All right. Please. Yeah, we're going to continue this.
All right.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Appreciate it, Flo.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, big dog.
Coming on, brother.
All right, no problem, man. Anytime, for real. So I look forward to seeing all of you in a couple of weeks.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
All right, now.
All right, peace.
All right, man. Go green. Flozell Adams, brother. Hey, one of a kind.
Great conversation.
Just scratching the surface with him, man. Hey, look, he's a wealth of knowledge, experience, and everything, man. And he's one tough SOB, if you know what I mean.
You know, Stray, like, I feel bad. I felt like this episode was not for our viewers. I felt it was more for me, just having that conversation. And even with Coach Johnson, with Flo and everybody, I felt like I was taken away, from something from this. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I loved it too, man. That was great. We'd love to have him back on. Coach Johnson, you guys did a phenomenal job when I was having technical difficulties earlier on in the game here for the show. Great job taking and running with it. And, I just want to make sure everybody knows, don't forget to get to that Amazon store and click that link. Go to the link in our bio, right? And get the book, Jehu's book. There it is right here. You want to get that book, Run from Civil War to the NFL for Jehuu Caulcrick, written by Bill Burke, not the quarterback. Go get that. Go cop that thing. And look, we got some new merch. We have merch in the store. Don't want to use this platform to look at all these. Look at that. We need more production in the four-hole, let the line out of the cage, and then prepared. We just heard that from.
Did we lose?
No, I love that. Yeah, we can't hear him, but I love that prepared T-shirt there. I absolutely love that. That is what it is. Hey, Spartan Nation, really appreciate you guys joining us today. Hey, it's game day tomorrow. If you're out tailgating, have a good time tailgating. Be safe. Be smart.
Drink
if you
responsibly, yes, absolutely.
If you see myself, you see Otis, and you see Stray walking around the parking lots all over tailgate, give us a shot.
Give us look. It's all love, baby. It's all love. I can't wait. It's gonna be a long day, but obviously if you're coming here, bring all the enthusiasm, the energy. Our boys need it. Let's go. Pound green pound. Let's beat the Chippewas. 7:00. Go
exactly.
Green, go white. I'm co-host Otis Wiley. Here's Jehuu, lovely co-host Choo Choo. Thank you. This is Sparta Fam. We out. See you next Tuesday.
Peace.
This is Sparta MSU is a combined presentation of Playfly Sports Properties and Michigan State Sports Properties. The show is produced by Tony LaBarbera, Tony Gustella, and Process Driven Consulting. Additional support is provided by Brendan Duravage. On-location technical support provided by Good Fruit Video. Be sure to follow our host Jason Strayhorn, Jehuu Caulcrick, and Otis Wiley on social media. To stay up to date with all the latest This is Sparta news, please like and subscribe by visiting our link tree and tell a friend to do the same. Thank you for your support, and as always, go green.